Welcome back. Now we'll be looking at media management, users, and settings. All right. Now to manage medias are images, videos, files like that. Those are medias. All right. Now you want to upload a new media. Okay. So that means you go to add media file. Okay, at the top here, add media file. Or you can do that from the menu option. So you have add media file. You click on it. You select the file. Once you click on it, there will be this, you can select or you drag and drop to upload. Okay. So once you drop it, it will be uploaded. So here you have a list of all your medias. Okay. From this library. So when you click on library, that is media library, you see a list. Okay. See the list. See the list. These are a list of all the images or medias you have. Okay. Could be images, could be video, could be PDF or anything. We have the image optimizer plugin installed. So that is what is giving us this option here or this column. Okay. So you can optimize it now, and we are using short pixel, okay, as the name of the plugin for the image optimizer, short pixel. You can optimize whatever image you want to optimize, okay, from here as well. So from your media library, you'll be able to see the list of all the different libraries or medias that have been uploaded. When you click on add media, remember it will load at the top is where you can add a media, okay, and then custom media. This is just to customize any media you want to customize, okay, but it is a plugin. But this option is brought from the short pixel image optimizer, okay. So the images that have been optimized already will appear here, okay, to appear here for you to now make any other changes you want to make to that optimized image. Now this is bulk to bulk optimize or bulk edit any image. Remember, this is short pixel plugin, okay. When you want to bulk optimize, for instance, you want to optimize all the images, you can start from here. Just go to bulk short pixel, and then you see as you're ready to start optimizing, you see click on start to optimize all the images, okay. So I will not be doing that now. In fact, my images are already optimized. The images are uploaded, okay, they are optimized already. All right. So this is the view. You can change this view, okay, to something like this. I just click on another view. It's loading. See the view now. So you can change it to from here. So this is the view, okay. This is different views. You can click on this view, list view. This is for list, like more like listing it, and this one is grid mode, okay. So whichever view you like, you prefer, you set it to it, okay. So that is that for medias. If you want to edit any media, right now I only have images, so any image I want to edit, just click on it, okay. Just click on it to open. Here is where you want to do your editing, okay, on this pop-up. Now I can edit this image. Say I want to crop it, I want to do anything that WordPress allows, okay. You click on edit image from here, and then you see, so from here you can crop this image by clicking on crop. You can scale it, Okay, say you want to scale, you want to resize, you can do that from here. You can rotate the image. I want to rotate it. Okay, it's not well positioned. Or you want to rotate it. You want to flip. You want to flip it from right to left. Either right to left or top to bottom. You want to flip it. This is other flip. Okay, vertical means top to bottom. You're flipping the top to go to the bottom. Let's just show you what it looks like. So this is it. Flipping from top to bottom. Let me flip it back. Okay. While I flip horizontal, I mean flipping from left to right, or so it's now flipping the mirror image. So that is what that does. Then you can undo whatever changes you've made. You can redo the changes, can cancel editing, can save your work. So if you edit this image, make sure you save. Okay, make sure you save before, if otherwise you lose your work. All right, and then if you want to, let's say you want to edit the next image, you can click here and go to the next one directly. Previous, next. Okay, previous, next. So that is that. Now let's just look at another one. Now I want to edit this image, but not the image itself. Like I don't want to change the image. Understand what the points are here. I want to edit this media, but not this image itself. Remember, this image I can crop it, I can flip it, rotate it, do what scale it, resize it, But I don't want to do that. What I just want to what I want to do is to change the alternative text. Okay, so I can do that from here. Okay, so remember, you should always add a text, an alternative text. Okay, for SEO ranking, it's very important. In fact, ChatPuser gives you, option for you to generate with AI. With AI, important it is for ranking. Okay, so always add an alternative text and use something very meaningful, something that relates to the image you're uploading. Okay, remember you're trying to optimize search engine. Okay, I mean optimize the image for search engine. So don't just gonna use number here. Use reasonable text. Any case is fine. You can just use small letter. You don't need to to make it anything special. Just any case, small, capital, capitalize. I mean, they all works. Okay. So you want to add an alternative text, you do that from here. Anything you want to add here, you do that from here. And once you're good, this time you don't need to save. Okay, just clicking out saves it automatically for you. Once you're done entering it, it saves. Okay, within seconds, within milliseconds, sorry. You don't need to click any special save to save anything, any changes here. So let's say I want to remove this hyphen. Okay, I just remove the hyphen. Once I click out, you see that loading. Can you see that save? To just save. Okay, so click out to save. Once you're done, just click out to save. All right, that is it. That is that for media management. Okay, remember you can actually box select. Like maybe I want to select from these 4 images, these first 4. I'll do box select and then I just mark them. Okay, I just mark them. So you maybe want to box select to maybe want to delete many of them, or you want to generate alternative text with AI for them. You just box select and then do whatever you want to do to them. All right. Next, we'll look at users. Okay, users. You go to users menu, just click on users, and then here is where you can manage users. All right. So we have 3 users right now. Here's where you can manage users. We have the admin. So this is the row column showing us the admin. This person is an admin. Okay, this is just a subscriber. The subscriber is just a user. A user of BOX18 Africa is a subscriber. Any user, somebody that can take quiz, just regular user. Okay, that is the word subscriber. Right? Editor is somebody that can edit, in fact, we know the word editor. Author, there's author role as well. Okay, somebody that will be authoring different content, like making posts. Those are the authors. Okay, article, those are authors. All right. This is the email of this user. This is the name. So you can view the full detail by clicking on view. Okay. So this view is taking me to the author. Okay. Author. So let's just go back. This is to view articles are published, those article page, the author page. Why this is to edit. You want to make changes to, like you want to change the name or whatever of this user. Okay, you do that from here. Okay, so you can change the name or editable fields of any user by clicking on edit, and then you edit it. Okay, there's a website, just any changes you want to make, you do that from here. Now, authors should have, for authors, those that are authors, they should have this title and short bio. Okay, so this field should be filled for authors. Please take note, you need to do that for authors. So admin can feed them in, the author himself can feed them. Okay, however, some authors may not fill them, so you may want to tell them to feed them, or you just fill it yourself. These two especially, they're important, for that author page. Otherwise, they won't appear to be blank. Nothing will be there, and somehow it's quite important. Article readers are able to see those title and bio of the author. Then next on the list we have socials. So there's the social handles of the authors. They can fill it here. Okay, and that is that. And then there's any focus keyword for SEO ranking for the author. You want to, not just author now, this is for that particular user. Okay, you want to fill it here, and then once you're done, always save. Okay, so update profile to save. Okay, that is editing profile of a particular user. So remember, an admin can change, any user's information, like their data. You can always change them. The ones that are editable, username cannot be changed. Take note of that. Okay, so beside username, I believe all other fields can change. So you can even change their password. You have the permission to do anything, to edit any information, any data besides the username. Although the username is something that as an admin you set it. You can set it if you are the one creating the account for that user. Once you have created it, you can't change it from WordPress account here, unless from the database directly. All right, to add a user, you click on add user, and then you're able to add user. You can add the username, enter the email names. These are optional fields. These are the two required fields, and then password. Okay, so if you want the detail, of that user to be sent to the user via email upon creation, you check this field. Okay, send user notification. So you're going to send notification of this detail to the user. You check it. They enter the user role. So take note that a regular user is a subscriber. So any regular user, always set them as subscriber. Okay. Somebody that contributes, maybe contributes to authorship or something, set him as contributor. An author, somebody that writes article, make posts, they are authors, so set them as author. Editor, somebody that can edit, some certain things, it's also have to often have authorship coverage and all that. And then for admin have right to access all these features now you see here, all these features. So they can change names of other users, approve comments, view contacts. So somebody that want to give, express permission to be able to access all of these features you can see here right now. That is who you want to make an admin. Okay, so you don't give anybody an admin, and then you add the auto profile of that user if he's an author. Okay, otherwise you don't need to do that. So an admin can be an author as well. So if he's an admin and he's also an author, okay, then you want to put the author profile here. And now once you're done, click on add user, and then that user's account will be created. All right, this is for profile, changes. That is, every user have this in their end. They'll be able to edit their profile. It's to edit your own profile. That is the user that is logged in. Okay, the logged in user profile. That is what this one is all about. All right. If we look at editing. So next on our list, we'll be looking at general settings. Okay, settings for WordPress settings that we can do. Okay, so we've looked at all other features that are important. We look at. Okay, now we want to look at this ACF. You don't have business doing anything here. For rank match SEO, you just need to use it to set SEO ranking. Okay, now let's look at settings. So this is settings. You go to settings tab or settings menu and click on settings. Here you can set any changes you want to make. Okay, so depending on what you want to do or what you want to set, we determine the field to, the sub menu to enter. So right now we're looking at the general settings. So what you can do in general settings are these. You can change the title of the website. Okay, so this is website title. This is the tagline of the website, and this is a favicon of the website. Okay, all this is the website URL for the live. It will be .com and it's HTTPS for live. Admin email, all of that. So you can change whatever for general settings. So these are what you have. You don't even need to change anything here. Then next is connectors. So these are where you want to integrate any plugin or add-ons, things like that. Not general plugins from here. I mean, this is more like add-ons. Like you can see here, you can actually add cloud AI to this. Okay, do that from here. So those are API connectors. Then we have writing. You want to be able to edit writings. Okay, this is where you do that, but you don't even need to do anything here. Reading as well. So here is where you can set the front page and do some other things. You don't need to do anything here. Okay, so the home page, which is the front page, if you really select it as home, that is the front page. So you don't need to do anything there. Blog posts show at most 10 at most. So these are where you just set do some settings, but you don't need to do anything here as well. Well, just showing you what you can do here. Then we have looked at discussions previously. These are where you want to set, fields for comments, how you want to structure your comments. You want it to be that once somebody may comment, it automatically approve. All of those things, you do them here, okay, under discussion for the settings. Then media settings. This is where you want to set media. Okay, you want to crop thumbnail to exact dimensions. This thumbnail sizes. This is medium size for images, large size for your images. All of that. Organize my upload into months and year-based folder. So all of that is where you want to set them. The permalinks, URL link setting, how you want the URL to look like. Okay, we are using this. This is what is recommended, especially for SEO. Okay, so this just the domain name, and then slash the article, URL slug or URL. That is what we are using. So you don't need to change it. Nothing to change here. Privacy. This is under where you set privacy. So you want to say, okay, this is my privacy policy page, all of that. That is where you want to do that. So here is policy guideline. Okay, so it's just settings for privacy. You don't need to do anything there as well. So this is settings for box 18, live score settings. Okay. Now this is custom settings for box 18 Africa. That's why it's named box 18. Okay. But this is for live scores. So here is where you want to set the competitions based on what is available with the API, live score API we are using. Okay. All the competitions are available in that live score API will all appear here. So you want to add the ones you want to appear on the home page. Okay. You want to say, okay, I want this. So if you go to our live score, it's loading. Okay. So these are the competitions. These competitions here, FIFA, Premier League, UEFA. Okay. These are the FIFA, Premier League, UEFA. Now, these competitions, the competitions want to appear on that right sidebar of the live score view, position. You want to add. Here is where you can add or remove them. Okay, so if I click on this, remove, it will remove it. So I can add a new one. Okay, you can order it. I want some to appear second, all of that. You can say I want Premier League to appear first. I order it. Once you're done, you click on save changes. So here is where you want to set the competitions you want to appear on this homepage, this side. Okay, remember, that is what you want to do there. Okay, here you really don't have business here. You don't need this. This is just showing, it's actually developer part of the API. All right, so this is where you want to set your live score. Once you want to appear on the home page, always remember to save when you're done. Okay, so next we'll be looking at short pixel image optimizer settings. Okay, it's loading. So you do not need to do anything here, but I just showing you what you can do. So overview, image optimization. So add the settings for image optimization. How you want it? Do you want it loosey? Do you want it glossy or looseless? Okay, that is what you can change the settings. Okay, optimize on this thumbnail. So you can change settings here. Web AVIF and CDM. So you can change. You can want to be able to create web images, how to create AVIF images, all those settings. So here is where you want to do them for. short pixel. Okay, remember it's an image optimizer plugin. So you want to make any changes, any settings you want to set for short pixel, you do them here. Once you're done, you're good. Okay, always save. Always save. Thank you very much. This will be the end of the demo on how to manage polls, competitions, different posts, feature spotlight, multimedias, all of that. Managing quiz, comments, contacts, email subscriptions, languages, media, users, and then doing the different settings you need to do. So this is the end. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Have a blessed day.